A massive but weakened Hurricane Irma was grinding across Florida's northwest coast early Monday morning, drenching the Tampa Bay region and lashing buildings with 85 miles per hour winds after hammering the southern half of the state the previous day. Irma roared through the Florida Keys on Sunday with punishing winds before pushing its way north, flooding streets, spawning tornadoes, knocking out power to more than 3 million people across the state and snapping massive construction cranes over the Miami skyline. The National Hurricane Center, NHC, said that Irma would continue moving north over the western Florida peninsula through Monday morning and then into the southeastern United States late Monday and Tuesday. There were no confirmed deaths blamed on the storm in the U.S. as of early Monday morning, but 4 people have lost their lives across southern Florida in vehicle accidents which may well be blamed on the storm once police have a chance to investigate. The storm left at least 27 people dead as it tore across the Caribbean. Nearly 7 million people in the southeast were warned to evacuate, including 6.4 million in Florida alone. 8:13 a.m., Irma weakens to tropical storm. Irma has weakened to a tropical storm as it moves over Florida toward southern Georgia. The storm's maximum sustained winds decreased Monday morning to near 70 miles per hour. The U.S. National Hurricane Center says it's expected to weaken to a tropical depression by Tuesday afternoon. Irma is centered about 105 miles north-northwest of Tampa, Florida, and is moving north-northwest near 18 miles per hour. 7:10 a.m., Irma hits air travel hard. Hurricane Irma is wreaking havoc on air transport around Florida and the Caribbean. According to the FlightAware website, a total of 13,136 flights to and from airports in Florida and the Caribbean have been cancelled this month, with 9,483 cancellations in Florida alone. Many of South and Central Florida's airports, including the massive international hub in Miami, were closed early Monday to all but military and emergency flights. Other airports closed, according to FlightAware, were Fort Lauderdale, FLL, Key West, EYW, * except for emergency and military aircraft. Naples Municipal Airport, APF, * except for emergency and military aircraft. St. Petersburg / Clearwater, PI. Orlando, MCO, * except for emergency and military aircraft. Miami International Airport, missing in action, * except for emergency and military aircraft. Orlando Sanford, SFB. Tampa, TPA, * except for emergency and military aircraft. Melbourne, MLB. Sarasota Bradenton, SRQ. 7:10 a.m., widespread power outages. Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn said Monday morning that while the city hadn't escaped Hurricane Irma's wrath, the situation wasn't as bad as they had feared. Speaking on MSNBC's Morning Joe, Buckhorn said what we thought was going to be a punch in the face was a glancing blow. Buckhorn did say there were a lot of downed power lines and debris, and he expected power to be out for some sections of Tampa for at least a couple more days. Nearly 4.5 million homes and businesses across Florida lost power, and utility officials said it would take weeks to restore electricity to everyone. More than 100,000 were in the dark in Georgia. 6:14 a.m., Category 1 Irma climbs Florida coast. A hurricane warning was still in effect as of 5 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday morning for Sebastian Inlet on Florida's northwest coast to Fernandina Beach, and from Anclote River to Indian Pass. Further south, Tampa Bay and surrounding areas were still under a storm surge warning. A lingering tropical storm warning in the Florida Keys was finally lifted on Monday morning, as it was in many other areas in the hard-hit southern part of the state. 5:19 a.m., house-to-house searches today in Florida Keys. Brian Kuhn, Florida's Emergency Management Director, said late Sunday that authorities had only scattered information about Hurricane Irma's storm's toll in the state. "I've not heard of catastrophic damage. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means it hasn't gotten to us yet," Kuhn said. In the low-lying Keys, where a storm surge of over 10 feet was recorded, appliances and furniture were seen floating away, and Monroe County spokeswoman Cammie Clark said the ocean waters were filled with navigation hazards, including sunken boats. The county administrator, Roman Gastazzi, said crews would begin house-to-house searches Monday morning to check on survivors. And an airborne relief mission, led by C-130 military cargo planes, was gearing up to bring emergency supplies to the Keys. 2:38 a.m., September 11, Irma downgraded to Category 1 near Tampa. Irma weakened to a Category 1 storm as the massive hurricane zeroed in on the Tampa Bay region early Monday after hammering much of Florida with roof-ripping winds, gushing floodwaters, and widespread power outages. The hurricane's maximum sustained winds weakened to 85 miles per hour with additional weakening expected. As of 2 a.m. EDT, the storm was centered about 25 miles northeast of Tampa and moving north-northwest near 15 miles per hour. More than 160,000 people waited in shelters statewide early on Monday morning. 11 p.m., Hurricane Irma nears Tampa as Category 2 storm. Hurricane Irma remains a dangerous Category 2 hurricane despite weakening a bit more to 100 miles per hour. It's now bearing down on the Tampa St. Petersburg region. NHC released its latest advisory to report that Irma's eye is about 50 miles southeast of Tampa and moving at a fast clip of 14 miles per hour. Still a large hurricane, its tropical storm force winds extend out 415 miles. Forecasters say they expect Irma's center to stay inland over Florida and then move into Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. They also expect Irma to weaken further into a tropical storm over far northern Florida or southern Georgia on Monday as it speeds up its forward motion. The Hurricane Center says the storm is still life-threatening with dangerous storm surge, wind, and heavy rains. 10:52 p.m., University of Tampa students hunker down in dorms. CBS News correspondent Don Champion spoke with students from the University of Tampa who decided to stay in their dormitories throughout Hurricane Irma because the facilities were rated for Category 5 storms and they felt very safe. Gusts have been reported up to 50 miles per hour and officials are expecting a storm surge for up to 6 feet. This is a city that is very flood-prone, so city officials are warning folks that the threat from Irma is far from over, Champion reports.